I can't hear anyone.
Perhaps probably haven't began yet.
All right. Now I can hear as well. I can hear as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not working now.
Right, I will call the September 25th meeting of the IRRR to order. Sarah, please take the roll.
Senator Champion,
Here.
Senator Farnsworth,
Here.
Senator Hochschild,
Here.
Senator Heitzman, here. Representative Davis, Representative Davis, Representative Igo,
Here.
Representative Scraba,
Present.
Representative Warwas. So we have 7 present, 1 excused.
All right, what's next? Reminded, do we need a motion to approve that? We do, right? Plus, shared rules, so. We have a motion to approve the May minutes.
So, Mr. Chair.
Representative Igo moves minutes and we'll have to do a roll call, don't we, because we're on the edge. All right. Sarah, please take the roll.
Senator Champion,
Aye.
Senator Farnsworth,
Aye.
Senator Hochschild,
Aye.
Senator Heitzman, aye. Representative Davis, Representative Igo,
Aye.
Representative Scraba,
Aye.
Representative Warwas.
Aye.
We have 7 yeses, 1 excused.
And on to the commissioner's comments.
Thank you, Chair Farnsworth. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another meeting of the Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board. But to start, I'd like to share an update on recent activities, initiatives, events, and projects that have taken place over the past few months. The agency has been focused on providing resources and learning opportunities to communities, tribal governments, and businesses across the Taconite Assistance area. Staff hosted a business and community development workshop that brought together more than 100 people, helping participants learn about grant and loan programs administered by our agency, while also sharing tools and strategies to advance local projects. We also partnered with the Northland Foundation to deliver a grant writing workshop that filled to capacity, providing hands-on guidance to help organizations strengthen their grant applications and access new funding resources. Additionally, the agency worked with Iron Range Brownfields to roll out a Lunch and Learn series that brings together developers, city leaders, technical experts to share success stories and provide useful guidance on redeveloping underutilized sites, helping communities turn brownfield challenges into opportunities. Upcoming sessions are scheduled for September 30th in Ella and October 29th in Hibby. The strong turnout at those workshops showed that the need for our programs and partnerships is greater than ever and reinforces our commitment to providing communities with resources that support economic development. Another initiative I'd like to highlight is our outreach to regional school districts. We recently sent letters to superintendents underscoring the significant financial support that their districts receive thanks to Minnesota's mining industry. Revenue generated through iron mining continues to play a vital role in strengthening our regional schools and expanding educational opportunities for students and families. The letters explained how production tax revenue and other mining-related funding streams are helping districts pay down bonds, broaden opportunities, and invest in modern facilities that support teaching and learning. To complement those letters, each district will receive a plaque to display in the entrances of their school. Those plaques serve as a visible reminder of the direct connection between mining and education in our region. We have one on display there in the corner of the room, and you'll see those in the local schools that have received $5 dollars. I'd also like to briefly recap our State of the Range event held last week in Virginia. The event brought together board members, tribal leaders, elected officials, business and community leaders, members of the public. During the program, we debuted a new video featuring Garrett Lampa of Lampa Manufacturing, Brian Peterson of Nelson Wood Chims, and Raleigh Hess of Giving Fabricators, whose stories amplify the strength and resiliency of our region and showcase the assistance that our agency is able to provide. We also shared the impact of the more than $32 million in grants and $2.9 million in business loans. When you take into account all of the other funding sources that matched those dollars, there was over $241 million invested in the region during fiscal year 25. That evening was also a chance to reflect on the challenges we continue to face, from mining layoffs to school budget cuts, while highlighting the strength and resiliency that defines our region. I really want to thank our staff, our speakers, and all who attended. Another exciting highlight for our region is just around the corner. The Pan-Continental Curling Championships will take place October 19th through the 26th, marking the first time that this event has ever been held in the United States. It will bring over 40 teams from over 20 countries, featuring men and women's teams from World Curling's America and Pacific Asia zones, and serving as a qualifying event for the World Championships. So those events will be held at Iron Trail Motors Event Center and the Range Recreation Civic Center here in Evelyn. Our agency was proud to partner with World Curling Federation, USA Curling, and Pro Masabi to help bring this world-class competition to the Iron Range. Events like this shine an international spotlight on our region, while also celebrating our heritage and creating substantial economic opportunities for local businesses and tourism. There are ways to get involved as a spectator or volunteers, so we really hope to welcome all of those people from around the country and world to how special the Iron Range is. So some updates on regional projects. We recently cut the ribbon on the new Giants Ridge Pool and Sauna House. And that just expands our resort's Four Season amenities, and that will officially open to the public tomorrow. The pool and sauna house will enhance quality of life for local residents and for tourists alike. Giants Ridge generates more than $55 million in annual economic impact, and this addition is expected to further tourism and support local businesses. So I want to thank our staff and project partners for bringing that amenity to life. Last week, we celebrated the completion of the Advanced Machine Guarding Solutions new 35,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Hibbing. That $9 million project expands the company's capacity and represents a major investment in the future of our region. Before we move into today's agenda, I would just like to provide a quick update on the team. Sam Tapp joined our agency as a loan officer on our business development team August 13th. He also serves as the first lieutenant in the Minnesota Army National Guard, currently as a platoon leader in the 1347th Division Sustainment Support Battalion, with service that included time overseas in Poland. So you'll get to know him. And now on to business today at
Roger, you're unmuted.
Okay. I'm gonna move on, but Roger, you can ask questions of me later. At today's board meetings, we will review $19 million in proposed projects that will strengthen schools, modernize infrastructure, expand housing, and grow businesses across the Taconite Assistance area. I want to make a special note of the Evelyn grocery store project on today's agenda. The advisory board will be asked to approve a non-recourse loan to the Evelyn PDA to support the return of a grocery store in their community. Small town grocers are critical, not only for ensuring food access, but also driving economic activity on our main streets. Some of you may have seen a recent MinPost article which featured Zoop's grocery store in Cook and highlighted the importance of keeping local grocers strong. This project will help ensure residents of Evelyn and surrounding communities have access to healthy food options while also strengthening the community's economy. On today's agenda, we have presentations by 2 school districts. We have 5.665 million for business development projects, 600,000 for a first of its kind mining industry research project, $4.7 million for public works, and a little over $2 million for housing projects. That wraps up my remarks. I want to thank each of you, but if Roger has questions or anyone else.
Representative Scrabble, do you have a question or are you just sneezing?
No, when Ida, I heard Ida say pontoon, and it's really platoon. Sorry, but
I must have got a glitch in
Thank you for that insightful comment. I just want to add to that, I said this at the state of the range, but I do want to thank the staff. They do all of the work. I mean, the board members, we get to sit up here and vote and take the credit for a lot of these things, but it really is the staff that does the work. So, again, I just want to reiterate my thanks from the state of the range. And I guess we'll move forward. We have the presentation on the minerals part. We'll do that to be.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. Today before you, and under guidance of Bond Council, IRRR will issue revenue bonds for the financing of up to 82 identified grants in the 2024 mineral article legislation that was enacted. Projects that were awarded 1 million or more are required to present their projects to the board and submit a spending plan. Today, we have 2 projects, the final 2 projects that are over $1 million that were part of this package, with a total agency investment of $6 million. So with that, I would like to invite Annie Elke from the Ely Independent School District 696 to provide an overview of the Ely project.
Thank you for having me today. Down at the Capitol, everybody pronounces my name Annie Oakley. So, but it is Ann Elke. I am the early childhood through grade 12 principal and superintendent at the Ely Public School District. I also am a proud graduate of Ely Memorial High School. Ely is super grateful to have received this large sum of money to go towards our athletic facilities. Like many of the range schools, the Ely School District campus is over 100 years old. Both our buildings and our athletic facilities. So these funds right now are going to go towards updating those facilities. Right now, those facilities serve approximately 140 student participants yearly. And for a small school, we offer many athletic opportunities. In the fall, we have football, volleyball, cross-country running. We co-op with Babbitt for swimming. We also provide youth volleyball in the fall. And in the winter, we do hockey, boys and girls basketball, cross-country skiing, and we co-op with Babbitt for wrestling. We also offer youth basketball and the youth blue line hockey program also in our facilities. And then in the spring, we offer baseball, softball, track and field. And we also offer summer youth softball and summer baseball. So you can see that our facilities, our athletic facilities are used year round for a small school quite heavily. We also have a year-round weight room in our schools that serve all of our athletic programs. We also partner with the Minnesota North College, the Vermillion Community College campus, and they use our football field, our baseball, and our softball fields for their fall seasons. Our Veterans Memorial Baseball Field, if you haven't been there, it's quite exceptional. And it hosts over 120 games yearly for our small town. And we host around 60 teams and over 1,000 baseball players come through there every spring and summer. We also host winter hockey and basketball tournaments on our campus. And these tournaments attract thousands of spectators to our facilities and to our local businesses in Ely at the end of the road. So they're definitely used and visited often. So the goal of our project is to update all of our athletic facilities. So what that would look like, our football stadium, I think it was 1936 it was built in. So it has had no improvements over that time. So the stadium would have improvements, the playing surface would have improvements, and it would have more accessibility for ADA compliance for spectators options. On our football field is our track and field as well. We have not a competition track, but we do have a running circus for our students. And then to addition to the football field, we would be including a new long jump pit, a shot put, and discus. On our baseball and softball fields, again, field improvements, they haven't been touched in a long time. And again, accessible spectator options, dugouts, fencing. We're looking at a shared concession and accessible bathrooms between the two instead of just having one at the baseball field. They would be shared between both softball and baseball. Our hockey arena, it is also quite old, and we are envisioning a new roof and new external walls, some HVAC improvements, some very updates on the foundation for the floor. We have a great chiller, we have great ice. So I don't know, I don't skate at all, but I hear it's the fastest ice. And can I say that? It would hit me, or I have no idea. Maybe that's dangerous to say. I take it back. That's what people tell me. So but our memorial gym, if anybody's been in our memorial gym, it is quite a gymnasium. I think Roger, it's one of your favorites, isn't it?
Always.
Yeah, it looks like a Hoosiers gym to me. I always call it the Hoosiers gym, like from Indiana. So but just a little touch ups in there would be acoustical paneling, ceiling updates, some lighting improvements, and plaster repair. So that's kind of the project that we're looking at. Here's some of the milestones of our project. Did I go over 2 minutes? Is that okay? Okay. Milestones of our project. We started back in November of 2024, where we had a comprehensive needs assessment done on all of our athletic facilities. Well, that needs assessment indicated about $17 million of needed improvements for athletic facilities. So we started there. Then we started having stakeholder meetings with our coaches, our staff that use our facilities, and community members, just identifying priorities and needs for each one of the facilities. We had ongoing facility team meetings, and then in July, we had an open school board study session just for final questions and discussions for anybody that wanted to attend and see where we're going with our project. It's all been really well received by our community and all our staff and our coaches. And in August, we made a final approval for moving forward with contracted firm for project design. Right now, we're looking between $5 and $6 million for like a phase 1 project, hoping to expand to maybe touch on more of the identified needs in that assessment. So we'll finalize the scope and sequence here in November. We're gonna go out for bids in January of 2026, and hopefully shovels will be in the ground in spring as soon as the frost allows us to. Questions for me?
Any questions? Speaking of. Well, thanks, Ann, for being here. Thanks for all the work that you've done. And this really came about from conversations that I had with the baseball coach in Ely about the facilities there. touring the gym, seeing the school renovation projects and the gaps you had there, but also just feeling the sense that, like, regardless of like the size of our schools, or if we're decreasing in population, that our kids deserve sort of equal access to extracurriculars and opportunities. And that's why I worked on this legislation and highlighted Ely for these funds, because I knew you guys would put them to use and use them well, and you have. And I know you still have gaps, and you always will, and that's just the way life is, it feels like, in the work that you do. But I'm grateful for the way you use the resources and stretch things to make, you know, the quality of life good for your kids, and that's what I think matters. So really excited to see what comes to fruition from this, and see everything that you do, and watch the kids play on all the different facilities. So, thanks so much.
So one last comment then about that then, so we have received a large sum of money from IRRR over the years, and we are super grateful in Ely, and if anybody ever comes to Ely, please stop by at the school. Our buildings are 100 years old, we did a connection in between, it's so beautiful, it looks like it was always there. But that money from IRRR really put us over the mark, and it looks like a nice new building. You wouldn't think that you were sitting in a 100-year-old classroom. And I think with this then too, our facilities, our athletic facilities are gonna kind of start to match that. And so I'm super proud as soon as I get that from the need to hang that in our front entry. So thank you very, very much. Very appreciative. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeff told me you were gonna ask a question.
Yes, I got a litany.
I think.
No, the biggest one is at the ball fields, the basket.
Yeah.
Right now it's underneath the stand, and it's. I guess back in the day, that's all you needed, but in today's world, it's really antiquated. And if they're gonna try to tie in. We call it the girls softball field, you know, you got the softball field and the baseball field, and there's nothing over there. We tried to do a building and everything, that was gonna be a nonprofit doing everything, it just fell apart. But I see what we can get something structured there. I just wanna make sure that the property was, can't remember. When the garage got built, I was mayor, and I got a citation from the DNR in the school because they used it was supposed to be used for sports only, not bus garage. And we didn't follow through, so somewhere along the line, make sure that whatever we do there is okay with the other government. Sports facility.
I think he'll support it.
We fixed that one. We fixed that.
I think I remember trying to fix that because it was like, what? You know, and so we got that all fixed, good, but it's gonna be a great addition. The list is pretty.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, yeah. Thank you for,
Thank you.
you know, applying, coming forward, and we'll just keep plugging away.
Okay, we'll stop by anytime. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Rockridge Independent School District, number 2909, bond proceeds for $1 million, and we have Noah here to provide an overview of the project.
Thank you, members of the board. First of all, what a pleasure it is to be here talking about something other than who's responsible for the roundabout in Evelyn on Highway. Thank you. Ours is fairly simple. Years ago, when all of this incredible stuff started, we told the voters that if we could not find responsible owners, we would tear the buildings down. And we have kept that promise to our voters, and it's incredible the amount of square footage that's over 1 million that we've taken down over the years. We have one school building left, and it will be the James Madison building. Currently, it's occupied by the NLC. After they leave, it will be completely vacant. We do not need that building, and it's probably the worst building we have as far as things in it you don't want. That's got to be a beta remediated, lead in the pipes, it is all the stuff you don't want. It's not fixable. So we would like to take it down and flatten it, and then we would like to do what we've done in the city of Evelyn. Let the city take over, let them do economic development, that's not our job. We would like in Gilbert, the city of Gilbert, to somehow fire that property and do economic development. In Virginia, I don't want to speak for the city of Virginia, but I believe the school board would like the city of Virginia to acquire the property and then use it for economic development, however they see fit. So this is what our request is for.
Representative Stroud.
Is the million a bid price or is that an estimate?
It's an estimate. We would have to go out for bids, get multiple bids for the abatement and then the demolition. So at this point, we're guessing. We don't know.
I know the city of Boyd Lake said the same.
Coming down, baby.
Yeah, sometimes I personally don't understand the bidding process. The government says, we have $1 million, and the people bidding go, million, huh? We need more, you know, and it seems backwards. Seems like we should have a bid and then look for the money, but this is the way it is, this is the way it is.
You could certainly say up to 3 million, and then if it's under that.
I certainly what's gonna happen.
Comments or questions? And we don't vote on this, right? It's just recording. Number 6 on the agenda. And as they come up, I just wanna say, I didn't know there was a cross-country meet today, so. Straismo is missing a cross-country meet today, I'm missing it as well, so all the staff. We have to look at sports schedule.
Mr. Chair, we're all there in spirit. We're all there in spirit.
If you notice, I keep checking my phone more than usual, because I'm looking at the results.
But we're going the distance to get this meeting.
Oh.
Someone else doesn't make fun, trying to excited for that.
Thank you. You're carrying the weight.
Where I sit. Right,
Speak and finish.
one of you is presenting first, so.
Yes, we'll be up here. Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next item on the agenda is a $5,550,000 non-recourse loan to the City of Evelyn Economic Development Authority for the purchase and renovation of the former Evelyn IGA property located at 602 Vale Road in Evelyn, Minnesota. Al's Ponce founded and operated the Evelyn IGA from 1983 until its passing in 2021. During that time, the Evelyn grocery store was a cornerstone of the community, most well known for its meat selection, deli, as being a place where the senior residents of Evelyn could get meals that were provided through a program with ADOA, and for their local support of the community. Towards the end of Al's ownership, he brought on a partner in Dean Scragg, who worked for a total of 37 years at the store. After Al's passing, Dean operated the store for a short time before electing to retire and sell. There was an attempt to operate a grocery store out of the location that unfortunately did not work out. Subsequent attempt to make repairs to the building and operate as a grocery store was attempted in 2024, but stalled without ever getting repaired. Since then, the building has sat vacant and fallen into disrepair. The roof is in desperate need of attention, with water penetrating in several places. Prior to the utilities being cut off, a pipe burst and created additional interior damage. Food has been left in coolers, and the interior of the building is a mess, but structurally, the building is sound. The city's engaged with a local architecture and engineering firm to prepare conservative amounts that we base this project cost on. This would be a not to exceed amount. And we're hopeful that due to a number of factors, including the possibility of winter work, that bids for this work could come in under budget. Proceeds of this $5,550,000 project would go towards following items: purchase of the property, site work in general conditions, demolition of old equipment and mechanical and electrical demolition, hazardous materials and abatement, interior and exterior remodel work, mechanical and plumbing, electrical, and a full roofing replacement. Additionally, this $5,550,000 would also account for refrigeration units, furniture, fixtures and equipment, freight to get that furniture, fixture and equipment to Evlith, and contingency, a healthy contingency. This would be structured as a non-recourse loan to the Economic Development Authority in the city of Evlith. The repayment to the agency comes in the form of net proceeds from rent after expenses are paid for from the building. The city's under no obligation to make payments if there's no tenant in the building. We are patient with them until we are able to find a tenant, and then we collect our repayment in the form of rents after that tenant is in the building. We offer non-recourse loans to our local EDAs so that they have a city-owned asset that they can offer attractive lease rates for to tenants to help spur job creation in their community, and in this case, address community need. Oftentimes, these leases are triple net leases, where the tenant is responsible for the property taxes, insurance, and maintenance or operating expenses. The intent here is for the building to be repurposed into a grocery store. The city's been engaged with local entrepreneurs who are dedicated to seeing this project through. These entrepreneurs have consulted with professionals from the Associated Wholesale Grocers to make informed decisions on equipment costs, inventory costs, and general operations. They've consulted with the Small Business Development Center, who's helped them to prepare a business plan with realistic and attainable projections, with modest growth that demonstrate an ability to make lease payments to the EDA. They project adding up to 15 jobs in year one to get operations started, with positions ranging from cashiers and people to stock shelves to higher wage positions like a butcher and store manager. This past February at a town hall meeting in Evlith, at the Evlith Auditorium, members of the community showed up in force, and a common theme rang true throughout the meeting. The people of Evlith wanted to grocery store. Over the past few years, the city of Evlith has been dedicated to community revitalization, including new housing opportunities on the school site, planning for business opportunities in various industrial park areas, and revitalization of their downtown area. These efforts are certainly aided by having amenities such as grocery store in the community. I wanted to touch on one piece that's on your packet cover that I inadvertently got incorrect, and that's the food desert information. Evlith qualifies as an urban tract because it is part of the Virginia area urban cluster. I think up here we associate everything with rural, right? We're in rural communities. But in this definition, Evlith is a part of the Virginia area urban cluster. And so because they are identified as having low access and a certain percentage of the population is low income, they meet that designation. Mr. Chair, members of the board, I've got Mayor Adam Rowan and City Council Member Joe Koivunen here. If there are any questions.
Representative Igo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the presentation. And I mean, this is an exciting proposal, like the commissioner said in her opening comments. You know, grocery stores are pillars for our communities and keeping them together so we can keep people living in community, right? And that's so important. I guess like just one of the concerns I had as I was reviewing this in preparation for today's meeting is just, you know, it seems like we have a huge project to get this building up to stuff ready to go, especially before snow flies, which could be any day, although today it doesn't feel like it. Is there any way that we could look at this as more of a, is there more like a tiered number we can start with? Because as we're working and lining up someone to operate this store, does that make sense? Does the board kind of see where I'm going with this, that we could maybe do a more appropriate amount today? And then as the project gets done, come back with more dollars if needed, and do this tiered approach. Is that something that the chair would be in accordance with, or something that the agency could look into doing?
Yeah, so we don't currently have a development agreement signed, right?
Mr. Chair, Representative, correct.
Okay, so then it's possible that if we do the work, put all of the equipment in for a grocery store, and then the people that say they're gonna do this back out, we could build a grocery store and not have anybody to run it. Is that accurate?
Mr. Chair, Representative Igo, thank you for the question. That is accurate, and we could view this through a speculative building lens. And and separate the equipment, the specialized grocery equipment from the ask. Total for quotes with contingencies in place, the equipment portion is right around $2 million. Thank you. $1.75 million. We can do the construction activities and the purchase of the building with a smaller contingency in place. I believe there's a $500,000 contingency put into this right now. We could lower that contingency and we could enable the city to purchase the property and make the necessary repairs for an amount of $3.6 million.
I think we should, thank you for that, and again, this is no discredit to the city, the work of the agency, this is just kind of like, we haven't done something like this. So I'm just thinking like, maybe everything we do at this board table sets precedent as we work as an agency, as a board, for the benefit of the region, so. I mean, I like that idea a little bit more, let's get this thing fixed up, let's let the agency and the city keep doing its job to find who's gonna run this place. And when it all comes together and agreements are signed, so let's get the rest of the money going, let's get this thing going, and have a look at what we're showing.
Mr. Chair, Representative Nygaard, just to, typically we have, these development agreements signed before we would entertain anything like this. There is a seasonal concern here in the roof's availability to withstand a heavy snow load. And so that's been a motivating factor in bringing this to this board meeting. We would like to get the roof work done prior to the snow falling. And so completely agree, and that time would work.
So far, it's a good idea. I mean, what we're talking about, the 3.6, the specialty equipment, does it need any coolers on the roof or anything like that you're aware of? And if it is, part of my other thoughts are this. We think of a grocery store, what they are. Some of the newer grocery stores are different, they're more organic, they have different needs, different coolers, type humidity, all that stuff. So the specialty equipment may not be what we're thinking right now. Like I'll use, if a food co-op were to come in instead of a regular grocery store, their needs are different than a regular grocery store. So are we gonna be able to ship fire if a different buyer shows up to say, I don't need that, this is what I really need. And then we can be more it's sort of all apart, pick and choose what you want, sort of thing.
Mr. Chair, Representative Scarava, thank you for the question. The specialty equipment is, to my knowledge, coolers, large walk-in coolers, deli equipment to revitalize the deli, freezers, so on and so forth. If we were to move forward at 3.6, absent of the grocery equipment, if in the event of a developer backing out or us being unable to attract a grocer to operate that store, the city's left with a city-owned asset that is a nice 10,000 square foot building with ample parking space. Realistically, if through rezoning or whatever, the possibilities are limitless for what could potentially go into that building.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Scrabble, Representative Scrabble, the other piece to this, I think you're asking, the concept is we're doing infrastructure, right? So when this building is redeveloped, there will be big changes to that building in terms of the plumbing and electrical. It's built out right now on this very antiquated model. The model that it would be built out with the folks who've been working with the Grocers Association is a modern placement of equipment, placement of coolers. So part of this bill of construction costs are to redo the plumbing and floor to be built out. Does that mean it couldn't be used for other, could be used? Or there might need to be some minimal changes depending on if there's a different type of business development there, but it's meant to serve your, I don't want to call it cookie cutter grocery store, but by today's modern standards, that's what it is, not a food cooperative.
And just briefly, the reason that I asked the coolers recently in Ely the grocery store has the coolers up on the roof and they were pointing towards the residential. Person bought a house and said, hey, what are you doing? So then they went up and put blockades, trying to block everything. And the noise still goes up and around. And it's kind of like, are we gonna be looking?
That's not the intent. I'm saying, there shouldn't be any pools or in this part of the.
But well, the exchangers, that's the.
Oh, you're talking about the equipment.
Yeah, that where the exchange, the noise comes from, you know, and that, I look here, I'm pulling up on my Onyx and, still the same old neighborhood that sounds good, so. People know.
And the parks following it, there's some space there, there's a park line there, and again, some of this stuff will. Have to be figured out even prior to that roof being replaced, because we're not gonna have a roof replaced and then. They need to go modify the roof to. So that,
Right.
that information was the. Those details will be figured out.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Representative Straba, if we are interested in pursuing what's being contemplated in front of you, the 5.55 would be contingent on the execution of a development agreement. If we choose to go the lesser amount to handle just the construction activities, and then leave the door open to come back to the board for future rounds of funding if this amount is insufficient to cover equipment, or if there are cost overruns on the construction activities. I would ask that if we go with the lesser amount to handle just the construction, can we do that without the contingency of a development agreement in place? And the purchase of the specialty equipment being contingent on the development agreement being put in place with the grocer.
I think that's reasonable. We've done it before, like the agency has bought old buildings and fixed them up for future economic development. We built brand new buildings. You know, in anticipation like the one in Aurora right now. So I think that would be reasonable. I mean, we want to take this building, I mean, the mayor's back, he knows what that building means to the community. We want to fix it up so that it's in a state that it can be used in the future for economic development, most likely a grocery store. But I think it sounds like most of the board is hesitant to say, well, let's pay for all of the stuff to make it a grocery store until we know that it's going to be a grocery store. And Representative Stroud made a good point, like what if it's a specialty, you know, health food or whatever. And we put in one type of equipment, but they're like, ah, that's not gonna work for us, we need something else, so. Until we have that development agreement, I think I kind of agree with the board, I mean. At some point, we'll support the project, but for now, we just need to button the building up, fix the roof, get the rotting turkeys out of the freezers, you know, the hazardous stuff. Didn't think you were gonna hear that. So. Unless there are some other sentences.
If we laid out with that verbiage, I'd be concerned that. Let's say, obviously you're already making the floor changes and having the roof so that it will be. Proper for a grocery store, but we say that we're going to leave the equipment. Parts off, and that's part of what we're gonna vote on in the codes. If you had extra dollars left over at 3.6, would that prohibit you from buying that equipment for the grocery store?
Mr. Chair, Senator Heinzman, that's a great question. I would ask that if this 3.6 comes in under budget, if any additional funds would be eligible to be used towards equipment contingent on a development agreement being signed. And then we either don't need to come back at all for an ask on the equipment, or it's a significantly smaller ask on the equipment. I think that would be a very satisfactory situation.
So as long as we have a development agreement, that's your contingency.
And that would provide lead time, because some of that equipment could take these years to.
Yeah.
There's Travis point with some of these are constructed. Without help us from this, but we wouldn't act without the signing on.
So unless there are other comments. How do we do this, then we're gonna not make this a month.
Mr. Chair, we do have an alternative resolution prepared for today's board meeting that approves the amount at 3.6. And so if that is the direction the board is going to go, we have that prepared to, it's the same resolution except for the amount, and we'd have that ready for your signature at the conclusion of the meeting.
So moved. Right, that's okay.
Senator Ostrowski, down for 2 seconds. So what's the number for that?
It's the same number, Mr. Chair.
Oh, okay.
And excuse me, Mr. Chair, it's resolution number 26-001. It would state that the amount that the board is approving today is 3.6 million.
So Representative Scraba moves resolution number 26-001. Sarah, please take the roll.
Senator Champion, Senator Farnsworth,
Yes.
Senator Rothschild,
Yes.
Senator Heitzman,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Igo,
Yes.
Representative Scraba,
Yes.
Representative Warwas,
Yes.
Senator Champion. So we have 7 yeses, 1 excused.
So the red line, this is where I need to do the gavel, right? Resolution 26-001. Passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just thoughts on all presented next Friday.
Mr. Chair.
Representative Warwas.
Yeah, if you would just indulge me for a moment, I would just like to thank Ryan and Chris for their work on this. And I know I've talked to a lot of people in the community, and I didn't have a chance to speak up during the proceedings there. I wanted to be there today. It didn't work out. Grateful to be here remoting in, but just really grateful for their work on this. I know the grocery store is very important to our constituency, and especially our seniors. A lot of the things that have already been said. And I know the mayor has been working hard on it, and I just really appreciate everyone's work there at the agency. Just want to say that.
Thank you, Representative Warwas. And it's about whenever you're ready.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, our second one on the agenda is a bank participation loan to Hibbing Fabricators Incorporated. Total project consists of purchasing 2 Mitsubishi BB4013 electric press brakes. The project investment consists of Iron Range Resources at $115,000. Security State Bank, $115,000. Hibbing Fabricators will put in $10,000 for a total project cost of $240,000. These 2 press brakes will be replacing 2 aging brakes. The new brakes will offer a 40% cycle time improvement, reduced setup time, faster programming, and less energy consumption. They'll also improve operator safety through laser safety systems. This new equipment will help retain 30 full-time jobs and 9 part-time. The collateral will consist of a purchase money security interest on the purchase on the equipment purchase with the proceeds of this loan. Hibbing Fabricators is a longtime customer of the agency. This will actually be the 9th loan that we've had, the first one dating back to 2013. All loans have been paid, most paid early, everything is on time. There are no contingencies on the project, and Raul is in the audience if there are any questions.
Any questions? Well, with that, then Sarah, please take the. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Representative, yeah, okay, who's this? Representative Igo moves resolution 26-002. Now, please take the.
Senator Champion. Senator Farnsworth,
Yes.
Senator Rothschild,
Yes.
Senator Heitzman,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Igo,
Yes.
Representative Scraba,
Yes.
Representative Warwas.
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 excused.
With that, resolution number 26-002 passes. Resolution 26-003.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, Dave Callio, the funding director. And today we have a $600,000 budget amendment to the development partnership. The original budget is $2 million. This would bring it up to $1,600,000. The $600,000 is for a grant to the University of Minnesota Duluth Natural Resource Research Institute. The funds will be derived from the Taconite Environmental Protection Fund carry forward, which is currently at about 5.6 million. If the budget is approved, Mr. Yanish will expand on the program and field questions specifically on the grant. If you have any questions on the amendment, I'd be happy to take them.
Are there any questions? No. Any questions? All right, with that. Senator Housechild moves resolution number 26-003. Please take the roll.
Senator Champion. Senator Farnsworth,
Yes.
Senator Housechild,
Yes.
Senator Heinzman,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Igo,
Yes.
Representative Scrabba,
Yes.
Representative Warwas.
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 excuse.
With that, resolution 26-003 passes. Mr. Yanish, whenever you are ready.
Chair Farnsworth, members of the board, the University of Minnesota Duluth Natural Resource Research Institute is requesting a $600,000 development partnership grant to complete the installation and commissioning of a world first direct reduced iron research furnace at its Coleraine, Minnesota facility. Development partnership grants provide funds for research, planning, education, and development based initiatives that support the long-term economic growth of northeastern Minnesota. NRRI is advancing a major research initiative to improve direct reduced iron production from Minnesota ores, fueled by Department of Energy funding plus matching funds from NRRI and industry partners. This effort aims to strengthen Minnesota's role in supplying sustainable, high-value iron products for the growing electric arc furnace steel industry, which now accounts for 70% of domestic steel production. NRRI's DRI simulator is a world-first research furnace that bridges lab research and industrial iron and steel making. It enables safer, more affordable experimentation with Minnesota and global iron ores, paving the way for hydrogen-based, low-carbon steelmaking, while ensuring Minnesota's iron remains vital in a rapidly evolving iron and steel industry. The DRI simulator will provide the iron and steel industry with a more accurate understanding of how manipulating feedstock and process parameters affects process performance and product quality at the semi-pilot scale. Work on the DOE project has been ongoing since 2021. Final installation of the DRI simulator at NRI Coleraine Labs is expected by the end of this year, and commissioning will take place in the first half of 2026. Initial validation against commercial scale operations is scheduled to begin by mid-year, followed by applied research with federal and industrial partners. The final tranche of funding from the Department of Energy has been delayed indefinitely, threatening to stall the project. The installation and commissioning of the DRI simulator are budgeted to cost $1.2 million. NRI requests $600,000 grant from IRRR to cover half of these costs. If the final DOE funding tranche is released, these funds will be returned to the agency. Drs. Weberg and Spigarelli are here from NRI to answer any questions the board may have.
Have any questions? Representative Igo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and that was kind of why I was quiet on the budget amendment, because this is just a good project. It's a good investment again to be, partnering with NRI, but how important it is for our region, right? I was having a conversation earlier today, about someone asking a question, why doesn't Minnesota have college of mines? And well, we have NRI, which does that and even better, if you ask me. So for the agency's partnership with NRI to continue doing this groundbreaking work that's gonna keep putting our minds and our economic prosperity into the 21st century is just critically important. So I'm glad that we're sitting here today as a board and as an agency again, continuing our partnership and investment with NRI.
Senator Hushain. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And similarly, I feel I've had a lot of conversations with NRI, the Herman Dump facilities in my district. And I think it's really important the work that they do advancing modern mining technology, research that they're doing in sulfate, all of these things that are really sort of the modern challenges that we face. I would also though say, I think this is really important to showcase the importance of the IRRB in this research because we're able to sort of bridge these gaps in these moments. I mean, think about other research institutes across the country who might not have an agency like this who's able to just step in, have these relationships, plug the gaps, keep the research going, keep the work going. And then if federal money or whatever other resources come in, they can sort of fill in. But I just want to highlight like, just like childcare, just like housing, just like all of this other stuff we do, it's the same with research. We're bridging a gap that otherwise might not be there. And we sometimes can take it for granted if we don't call it out and notice it. So really grateful for the agency doing this and for the research you all are doing. It's critically important for all of us. Thank you. Representative Stroud.
Thank you. And as chair of the education committee of this, I think it's important to note that a lot of there could be more creative ways of funding these projects, not just like this is good, but other methods that you guys are not discussing, but you're finding out that the U isn't sometimes as willing to go in the direction we want to go. And I think we could intercept some of those dollars before they get there and bring them back to NRI and keep keep that alive. I encourage everyone, if you get an opportunity to tour the site, hit the director and then we'll let you. Some of it's pretty high speed, it's really cool. But I think it's important to know that the research that's being done is cutting edge. And they need new equipment and it's not cheap, but I think it's something. Again, it's gonna make the difference of whether that ore is gonna be mined here or in Australia. So we can keep going here with however way we can do it. I think it's important. So thanks.
Thank you, Representative. Other questions or comments? Okay, I just want to add, and maybe the testifiers because it came all the way here, want to comment on this, but I think it was in the 1950s, we were starting to run out of natural ore. And the research done at the University of Minnesota saved the Iron Range. And I think a project like this, I mean, we know that blast furnaces are decreasing. And so we have to provide a better value added product. And I think something like this is going to help us be able to make money for there's still a lot of ore, but we have to be able to send the electric arc furnaces. So this, I mean, this excites me. It's forward thinking, getting us ready for the next phase of steel making. And if you want to comment about that, and since you came all the way here.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to start my comments, those two ones, thank you for ongoing support and encouragement that the postal board and the legislature has given us over the years. We're excited about this. Compliment the commissioner on the landscaping out front, but we want to add DRI, we want some magnets, we want to add some batteries at the end of that line there. And that's what we're excited about doing. I'll leave my comments, but I do want to make a point that sitting next to me is Dr. Brett Spigarelli, who is the new tough endowed taconite chair. His job is to not only look at the new history that we're trying to write for iron, but also on the resources here at state. That this piece of equipment is immediately relevant to. Last thing I'll say is the partnership that we have with IRRB is a major differentiator for the state of Minnesota as we get into these conversations. So thank you for the comments. Brett, comment quick about.
Sure, well said. And you are correct. This piece of technology can make Minnesota the global leaders, just as we were in blast furnace and pellet production, just as we can be in hydrogen DR pellet production in that technology. Well said, and the future is bright.
Thank you. With that, Representative Straba moves resolution 26-004. Take the roll.
Senator Champion. Senator Farnsworth,
Yes.
Senator Housechild,
Yes.
Senator Heitzman,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
aye,
Representative Igo,
Aye.
Representative Scrabba,
Aye.
Representative Warwas.
Yes.
That's 7 yeses, 1 excuse.
All right, with that, resolution number 26-004 passes. To public works.
Chair Farnsworth, members of the board, today before you, we have Public Works grants. The Public Works Grant Program supports local and tribal governments with infrastructure funding that provides essential services and promotes economic development. Today before you, we have 14 projects with an agency investment just over 4.4 million, with total project investment up over 106 million. Additionally, we have 2 grant amendment requests requesting additional funds for their projects with a total additional agency investment of 287,000. And with that, I'll hand it over to Chris.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the first project, your consideration and recommendation, City of Aurora, grant amount $500,000. Project consists of road reconstruction, curb gutter and sidewalk replacement, and water and sewer line upgrades. City will be responsible for infrastructure utility and placement and some road reconstruction. The county will be responsible for road reconstruction. The community center fire hall parking lot will be completely redeveloped. The project will provide essential services to 45 residential homes and the Wasabi School. Second project, City of Beaver Bay, grant amount $250,000. Project consists of replacing aging and failing sanitary sewer and water lines. Pipe conditions were confirmed through televising, which was completed by the city in the fall of 2024. The project will make the city's infrastructure more resilient and protect the environment from untreated wastewater being released into the Lake Superior watershed. The upgrade will provide a reduction in flow infiltration. Placement in cast iron water main will improve the water quality and facilitate sewer improvements. City by Waback, grant amount $185,000. The project includes furnishing and installing 652 new water meters throughout the city, integrating an advanced metering infrastructure and MI system, and implementing leak detection capabilities. The upgrade will support improved water usage, monitoring, early leak detection, and streamlined data collection for long-term operational benefits. Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District, grant amount $400,000. The project consists of new sewer main extension and hookup. Central Iron Range Sanitary Sewer District was requested to provide sanitary sewer services for the development of a new St. Louis County Public Works facility on County Highway 5 across State Highway 169 near their waste treatment facility. The sewer line will be extended beyond the new county facility to serve 5 residential properties, some of which have septic systems beyond their useful life. Chisholm-Hibbing Airport Authority, grant amount $27,000. Project consists of the design and rehabilitation of an aircraft taxi lane that supports 18 aircraft storage hangars. Project includes asphalt milling, site grading, removal and replacement of storm sewer system, asphalt paving, and pavement markings. The hangars served by the taxi lane are owned by the Chisholm-Hibbing Airport Authority and lease to pilots for long-term aircraft storage. Annual hangar lease revenues are used to maintain and support the airport. Having a strong base aircraft inventory supports several airport tenants who provide aircraft maintenance and fueling services. City of Coleraine, grant amount $300,000. Project consists of the purchase and installation of 555 new water meters at residential and commercial properties. This is a community-wide water meter installation initiative to enhance utility efficiency, service accuracy, and long-term operational performance. The upgrade will enable improved water usage monitoring, early leak detection, and streamlined data collection to support better utility management. Cook County Grand Marais Joint Economic Development Authority, grant amount $175,000. The project consists of taxi lane reconstruction. The taxi lane serves as a critical access route for aircraft to and from the hangars located along its edge. The existing pavement infrastructure, including taxi lane and adjacent apron areas, has exceeded its useful life. It's in poor condition and exhibiting signs of structural deterioration and surface distress. City of Ely, grant amount $169,000. Project consists of water main and sewer line extension and hookup for the redevelopment of a former train depot and wilderness outfitters facility. The depot was built in 1889 and is believed to be one of the first structures in Ely. It operated as a train depot to support mining operations in the 19th century and continued rail operations until the late 1960s. It later served as the home to the wilderness outfitters for more than 40 years. The depot property at the corner of Camp Street and Central Avenue has been vacant for years and deteriorated to blight conditions. Developer created plans for a $3.2 million project that would renovate the property for a restaurant, brewery, and outdoor event center. Healy Township. The project consists of town hall and cemetery upgrades. Town hall work includes repairing damaged entrance pad, replacing all interior flooring, constructing a larger garage for maintenance equipment, and constructing a wood chip storage bunker for resident use. Cemetery work includes landscaping, tree removal, headstone restoration, and implementation of cemetery management software. Goodland Township, grant amount $84,000. The project consists of town hall upgrades, including full roof replacement, new flooring and exterior doors, and interior painting. The upgrades will ensure the building continues to serve as a reliable hub for essential community services. The building functions as the township's community center and it houses the township's volunteer fire department. City Hibbing, $1.5 million. The project consists of the construction of a new regional public safety center. The city's public safety departments work cooperative but lack a centralized, functional, and modern location that meets today's operational standards. The new regional public safety center will be a 65,000 square foot building attached to the current public works building. The facility will house the city's police and fire departments and improve emergency response and enhance community safety. City of Leonidas. The grant amount is $300,000. The project consists of storm sewer upgrades and road reconstruction. Project includes the rebuild of a main thoroughfare valley with additional stormwater management capabilities, and it includes citywide pavement rehab. The city's unique location at the base of a drainage basin, compounded by the presence of a tailings mountain, has created significant stormwater management challenges. Even with attempts to expand the intake pipe capacity, current stormwater system is unable to efficiently manage the water volume. Stormwater overflows frequently occur on County Road 755 and are caused by inadequate ditches and additional runoff received from the West Edmonds area. City of Mount Iron, grant amount $200,000. The project consists of slip lining the sanitary sewer main from the old downtown area to the wastewater plant, which will eliminate inflow and infiltration of the city's wastewater system. To retain and protect businesses and residential properties in the city's older section, approximately 3,660 feet of sanitary sewer main will be slip lined. If the existing sewer main system were to fail, flooding would cause property damage to approximately 50 households and businesses. City of Tower. Project consists of upgrades to city public buildings and includes the airport zoning. The public works facility needs a new main shop roof, HVAC improvements, and a garage door. A cold storage area will be constructed, a new facility generator will be installed, and a new security system will be added. Additionally, the community civic center needs HVAC replacement, and the city standalone building needs roof replacement. The Tower Municipal Airport is required to align its zoning ordinance with state statute. The Minnesota Department of Transportation Office of Aeronautics has requested the city update this ordinance. Those are the 14 projects that Ms. Ridon mentioned initially here, and then the next two are amendment requests for grant increases. By Waback Township, the project consists of an expansion of Waback Township Fire Hall to allow for increased firefighting services, additional equipment, and training opportunities. The current facility is 2,600 square feet, and the expansion will add 2,000 square feet. Built in 1989, the facility is served by Water Township and the surrounding communities with essential fire and rescue services. The expansion of the facility upgrade will ensure the continuous regional emergency response services. IRRR previously approved $161,000 for the project in February of 2025. The reason for the grant increase, the township requested additional funds due to higher than anticipated costs. This went out to bid, costs came in much higher, and they don't have that budget this fiscal year. $120,000 grant increase will bring the agency investment to $281,000 and the total project investment to $1.233 million as shown in the budget table. The second request, City of Calumet. The original project approval of the project consisted of upgrades to City Hall, including a new roof, electrical wiring, LED lighting, ADA cement steps, ramp, ADA chairlift, elevator, ventilation, and ductwork, new installation, room expansion for additional event storage space. The library located in the City Hall building will receive a canopy over its side entrance. All of the upgrades will help reduce the city's overall operational costs while providing a safe and secure accessible community facility. IRRR previously approved $300,000 for the project in November of 2024. Reason for the grant increase, city's requested additional funds due to higher than anticipated bid costs, went to bid and came in much higher. The $167,000 grant increase will bring the agency's investment to $467,000 and the total project investment to $1,017,000 as shown in the budget table. We didn't entertain any questions at this time, Mr. Chair.
Well, thank you for the presentation, thank you for all the work of the agency, and I just kind of blown away right now, I gotta be honest. Usually when we talk about agency dollars, we think about, how much we can get out of every dollar spent, right? We're happy for $5 for every dollar spent, we're happy for 10. The package in front of us today, we're getting $24 for every dollar we invest from this agency. That is incredible. The fact that the agency is investing $4.4 million and the investment to our regions are over $106 million. I mean, that is incredible. So for everyone in this room, that's going to go home and share with all of our communities. For the press and the news that are watching this, that is the number that's going to highlight today. Because that is just incredible work by this agency and our communities finding ways to leverage every opportunity we have to invest in our region. I mean, it's just, that's incredible. That's astounding. And I mean, there's economic development firms across this country, there's states that can't even get anywhere near what this agency is able to do. And that's just why we're so lucky to have it. And just hats tip to every single one of our agency staff and every single one of our community developers, mayors and councilors that came together and made this possible, because this is really an incredible day. So good job to everyone in this room. This is amazing. It's in its travel.
First of all, thank you, and I agree, it's a good jobs for a lot of union people working on the range, which is what we're looking for, because there's people still looking for work, believe it or not, I mean, there's jobs out there that the city work. I have a question, and I'm not against it, but I'm the Wabaga Township grant increase for the fire. Being on bonding capital investments, going around the state, I'm seeing more and more consolidation of fire departments, small ones, trying to a district, think of a fire district. And I think of Virginia, Gilbert, Wabaga, this whole thing, how do we get this more consolidated? And we're in the talking stages right now, we're not trying to go forward, but I'm just curious if this is gonna fit in the future. Is this, or are we just putting money into an area that eventually is going to be part of another district? Yes, no. Okay.
Mr. Chair, Representative Strada. So what I can tell you is traditionally, like, we don't fund equipment, we don't fund fire trucks, that type of apparatus, because kind of to your point, there's a lot of shared services even taking place on these scenes, and generally the turnover on those is higher than a facility upgrade. So our investment goes into that public building that we might see you once every 30 years, hopefully, right? There have been, I know there are talks right now, just in this direct region, Gilbert, Vale, City of Evelyn, about the district concept. I don't know that by including that, once we get a little bit rural, it's a little bit harder in terms of that service being a little further out. But I know our agency has brought to the table in the past, Lakeland and Wywabic Township. Lakeland's, we need facility upgrades, you're close enough, can you merge them? So we definitely don't just say, yeah, we'll give you the grant. We try to facilitate those conversations and bring folks together. And if the right leadership is there at the time, you see change. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Hochschild.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair, and just, I concur 100% with what Representative Ida was saying, but I just wanted to dive in a little bit and make a finer point. If you look at where the 107 or so million is coming from, you've got Minnesota Department of Transportation LRIP program, local road improvement, which we've increased and made really a priority to try to get more state funding to our local roads and rural communities. We have safe routes to school programs. We have USDA rural development. I used to work in rural development at USDA, making federal investments in these types of things. So that's where a lot of this gap funding is coming from. But you look at what the other gap funding is, it's our cities and it's our counties. And I represent a district biggest in the state, and most of it is in the taconite assistance area, but a lot of it isn't. And what does that mean? Those communities get USDA grants, they get LRIP grants, they get these other grants. What they don't have is they don't have the IRRB. What does that mean? It means that the city portion and the county portion is higher. What does that mean? More property taxes for those local residents. So really what we're talking about is using our mining taxes, which is in lieu of property taxes, on our corporations here on the mines, and transferring that to our local communities so that they don't pay as much in property taxes. That is what this is really about, and funding that gap and leveraging those dollars as Representative Igo talked about. So that, I think, it's really important. I can't tell you how many communities I have in my district who are like, hey, Ely just got that right over here. Yeah, Coachella County. So it's just like really important to highlight how amazing it is, the region we live in and the leveraging dollars that we're getting, because it's just your local property tax. That's all it is, folks.
Comments, questions? Well, and I just want to add to that, none of this would be possible without money. So, we need everybody's support for, everything that we can do to continue to perpetuate mining and, so, because, none of us would come with these there. But Roger we'd still be dying. That's probably the rest of us without mining. So, with that,
I support mining as a wilderness guy.
thanks to clarify. Yeah. Senator Hochschild moves resolution number 26-005. Then I'll please take the roll.
Senator Champion. Senator Farnsworth.
Aye.
Senator Hochschild.
Yes.
Senator Heitzman.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Aye.
Representative Igo.
Aye.
Representative Scarba.
Yes.
Representative Warmoth.
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 excused.
With that, resolution 26-005 passes.
Water previously, thanks for the.
Okay, good.
Without responsibility.
Yeah, sure. But it's not bad. Not sure who's going, so whoever.
Chair Farnsworth, members of the board, we have housing projects for your review and recommendation. The housing grants assist projects or programs that result in the creation of new housing units or the rehabilitation of existing housing units. The program will support housing solutions that align with local priorities and regional employers' needs. Today before you, there are 8 projects with an agency investment of just over $2 million, with a total project investment of over $21 million. These projects will create 84 new housing units, rehabilitate 60 housing units, and create 12 lots for future housing units. Please note that the agency did receive 5 other complete applications requesting funding from the agency housing program, However, those 5 projects are contingent on significant funds from Minnesota Housing that will be announced in December of this year. Along with the agency and various other potential projects at varying stages of application and project development. We anticipate bringing those projects who received the funding from Minnesota Housing to a board meeting later this year. With that, I'll pass it on to Sean to review the housing projects.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the first project we'll be bringing to you today is the Aurora Housing and Redevelopment Authority. The grant amount is $11,500. The total project investment is $23,000. And the project consists of the Neighborhood Revitalization Mini Grant Program focused on home exterior improvements. Aurora Housing and Redevelopment Authority will market the program to local homeowners, process the applications, and support up to 20 exterior housing rehabilitation projects. Since 2021, 49 homes have been assisted, improving the appearance of the residents and revitalizing the neighborhoods and cities. The next project we'll be bringing to you is the Cook County Housing and Redevelopment Authority. The total grant amount is $350,000. The total project investment is $922,147. And the project consists of extending utility infrastructure to connect 12 future homes in the North Stogan Common Interest Community in Grand Marais, with the goal of keeping lot and home prices affordable. The development will include access to city sewer, water, and stormwater management maintained by a homeowners association. Homes will be owner occupied and limited to full-time residents. The next project is the City of Ely. The grant amount is $146,500. The total project amount is $293,000. And the project consists of a drainage system repairs to reduce flooding and sidewalk and donor replacement at Northwoods Townhomes, a 26-unit market rate senior rental apartment complex owned by the Ely Housing and Redevelopment Authority. The townhomes serve local residents and require rehabilitation to ensure safety and accessibility. The next project is the Itasca County Habitat for Humanity. The grant amount is $150,000. The project investment is $561,694. And the project consists of utility infrastructure, site work, and construction on 2 new net zero passive homes in Calumet. The homes have energy efficient elements, including triple pane windows, LED lighting, and solar power. The project will receive donations of materials, appliances, and professional services, and labor will be volunteered from Youth Build, the community, and the future homeowners. Habitat for Humanity serves individuals and families who qualify for a mortgage and have incomes within limits set relative to the area median income. Homeowner selection is based on demonstrated need for housing, ability to repay an affordable mortgage, and a willingness to partner in the construction of their home. The next project is the Lake County Housing and Redevelopment Authority. The grant amount is $850,000. The total project investment is $17,386,049. The project consists of developing 75 market rate workforce apartments on a 5-acre site in Northwest Two Harbors. The city, county, and school district have preliminarily committed to tax abatement financing, and the city will convey the land to the developer for $1, and $1 million in Lake County Housing Trust funds has been jointly approved by the Lake County Board and the Lake County HRA Board. Our next project is the North St. Louis County Habitat for Humanity. The grant amount is $500,000. The total project investment is $1,916,856. And the project consists of utility infrastructure, site work, and construction of 8 home sites across the Iron Range. 5 new homes will be built, 1 home will be rehabilitated, and 2 additional sites will be prepared. Habitat for Humanity serves individuals and families who qualify for a mortgage and have incomes within the limits set relative to the area's median income. Homeowner selection is based on demonstrated need for housing, ability to repay an affordable mortgage, and a willingness to partner in the construction of their home. All IRRR funding will be used for construction-related costs. The next project is Toivola Meadowlands Development Bank. Lord. Sorry, it's close to 5 o'clock. Grant amount is $45,000. The total project investment is $90,000, and the project consists of replacing the siding, window trim, and storm doors at Meadowlands Manor, a 12-unit apartment building owned by the Toivola Meadowlands Development. The building provides rental housing for local residents, including seniors, who are not yet ready to transition to assisted living or nursing home care. Built over 30 years ago, the building requires extensive rehabilitation. And the last grant request we have for today is the City of Virginia. The grant amount is $25,000. The total project investment is $336,694. And the project consists of redeveloping the second story of an existing commercial building into a new residential housing unit at 309 Chestnut Street in Virginia. Now we have many of the individual project leaders here with us and also online. If there's any questions, you can certainly take them now.
Sure. Is Matt Johnson online?
I believe so. You should. Matt, are you with us?
I'm here. Thank you, everybody.
Hey man, any chance that you could get $2 instead of $1? Double your money? Okay.
Depends on what the terms are.
Yeah, we did that nearly one night. We doubled our money in one night. Thank you.
I really would like to add a comment here too, that the number of local stakeholders cooperating on this project are really immense. The school district, the city, the county board, the county HRA. A huge thank you to Vision Development Team. $12.5 million of private capital put into this project, and this is truly a project that IRRR is getting across the finish line. Without your additional support, I don't know how much additional commitment we could come from all those other stakeholders. So a huge thank you.
Representative Idle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, as the housing co-chair, I gotta talk about this because this is exciting. 10x on your dollars, incredible, right? 2 million agency investment for almost 21.5 million back. So kudos for that one. But the thing I really wanted to highlight, and we just started talking Lake County. The average cost of building an apartment in the state of Minnesota is around $265,000. We're doing it in Lake County for $230,000 a unit. So that only happens when you create partnerships and get that many people in the room working together about how we can lower costs, provide that opportunity to our residents. I mean, it's astounding, right? And we should be reporting that to Minnesota Housing and telling they should be doing better. We're doing the best rate right now. So just that in itself is amazing. But if you look at this whole package of in this housing proposal chain, it's accomplishing so many goals that we need to do in-house. I mean, just the fact that we have 84 new units, we're rehabbing 60 and with 12 new lots. And what we're doing there is we are providing diverse different options of housing now across the entire spectrum of the range. That are going to be diverse and affordable. So everything from single family homes to multifamily units, to senior housing, to rehabbing what we have, which is incredible. Because when you combine that affordability and that diversity, we create what we want on the Iron Range, which is stability. And that's why I'm just so happy again with the leadership review commissioner that we have this housing program now, because it really is contributing to the stability of our region for today, but for the generations after all of us. So this is just another exciting day for housing on the range, and just again, good job to the agency, to all the communities, to all the partnerships we've created, that we can be sitting here today knowing that we're bringing this many more units online and we're doing it incredibly cost effectively. So good job to everyone.
I can't think of the phrase. Everything's been said, but not everyone's.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I just wanted to say ditto on everything that was just said, and I'm so grateful we have this housing program. But I would be remiss to not point out the Cook County project, because if you look on here, it says not only are they constructing these 12 future homes, but they're actually having youth involved in the carpentry of the project. And I was just in Proctor yesterday. They have a phenomenal CTE program if you're unfamiliar. And I was at a housing project. Every year they build a house, and there were 3 kids there. One of them going into the carpenter's hall, one going with ironworkers, and one with the pipe fitters. And these are the opportunities that we're providing our kids to get involved in the trades, learn skills on the ground. And for Cook County, which is an even more remote rural area school district, for them to have this opportunity for young kids to get carpentry skills on a project that we're funding as an agency, I just like, that's best case scenario for all of us. So really, really big kudos on that project in particular. Thanks. Comments? They've all said it, so with that, is Senator Heisman on? We should move.
I am on.
All right, Senator Heisman moves 26-006. Please take the vote.
Senator Champion. Senator Farnsworth,
Yes.
Senator Housechild,
Yes.
Senator Heitzman,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Aye.
Representative Igo,
Aye.
Representative Sprava,
Aye.
Representative Warwas.
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 excused.
Okay, so that resolution 26-006 passes. Other business. Furthermore, no other business. And we are adjourned. So, thanks everybody. Thanks.